Hello friends, attendance allowance has just gone up and the DWP is sitting on a benefit that over 1 million eligible pensioners still aren't claiming. This isn't means tested, it doesn't touch your state pension, and most people who qualify have simply never applied because they assume it's for something more serious than what they're dealing with. Today, I am covering exactly what's changed, who actually qualifies, and the specific mistake that gets genuine claims rejected. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. This is one of the most underclaimed benefits in the entire system, and most pensioners only find out it exists from someone else telling them. Subscribe now and let's get into it. Weekly rates rose in April, and the gap between the two rates catches people out. Attendance allowance now pays £76.70 a week at the lower rate and £114.60 a week at the higher rate, both increased under the 2026/27 benefits uprating. That's just under £6,000 a year at the top rate, paid every 4 weeks, with no reassessment of your savings or income at any point. Confusion happens right at this line. The lower rate applies if you need help or supervision during the day or during the night, but not both. The higher rate applies if you need help during the day and the night, or if you're terminally ill, in which case the higher rate applies automatically and claims are fast-tracked. Check which rate you might fall under before you call, because the application asks detailed questions about day and night needs separately, and knowing which rate you're likely to qualify for changes how you answer them. Care needs is the phrase putting people off, and it's the single biggest reason genuine claims never get submitted. You do not need a carer, a diagnosis, or a formal support package to qualify. What you need is difficulty with personal care or supervision because of a disability or health condition, physical or mental, and you must have needed that help for at least 6 months unless you're terminally ill. Arthritis, sight loss, hearing loss, anxiety, early-stage dementia, Parkinson's, the after effects of a stroke, chronic pain, and heart conditions all commonly qualify. It doesn't matter whether anyone is currently providing that care, it matters whether you need it. Ask yourself 3 questions before dismissing this. Do you need help getting dressed, washed, or using the toilet? Do you need someone to remind you to take medication or to check you're safe? Do you move slowly or unsteadily, or need to stop and rest during normal daily tasks? A yes to any of these is worth a claim. Here's what actually changed under the DWP's 2026 review, and it's the reason claims are being processed differently now. The department has expanded automatic data sharing with the NHS and local authorities, meaning some pensioners already receiving certain forms of social care support are now being flagged and proactively contacted about attendance allowance. But this system catches only a fraction of people, and it relies entirely on existing local authority contact, which most self-funding pensioners never have. If you pay for your own care privately or manage without any formal support at all, you're far less likely to ever be contacted, even though you're just as likely to qualify. The DWP has confirmed there is no plan to backdate awareness campaigns to reach this group directly. Request a claim form by calling the Attendance Allowance helpline on 08 007 31 0122 or download it from the government's official website. Do not wait for a letter or a phone call that may never come. This benefit is not something the DWP will find you for. The form itself is where legitimate claims fall apart, and it comes down to one specific mistake. The application asks you to describe your needs on what the DWP calls a bad day, not an average day and not your best day. Pensioners consistently underplay their own difficulties out of habit, describing how they usually manage rather than what happens when a condition is at its worst. This single pattern causes more rejected claims than any medical technicality. Someone who genuinely qualifies writes, "I manage fine most days," instead of describing the days they can't get out of bed unassisted, and the assessor has nothing on the form to work from. Write down every difficulty for a full week before filling in the form, including the bad days, the slow days, and the days you needed help but didn't ask for it. Be specific about how long tasks take, whether you need reminding, and whether you've had any falls, near falls, or moments of confusion, because vague answers are what get genuine claims turned down. Backdating is the fifth detail almost nobody knows about, and it can be worth thousands on its own. Attendance allowance is not usually backdated to when your condition started. It is normally paid from the date the DWP receives your claim, but there is one specific exception that changes everything about when you should apply. If you request a claim pack by phone and then return the completed form within 6 weeks, your claim is backdated to the date of that original phone call, not the date the paperwork arrives. Many pensioners lose weeks or months of payment simply because they didn't know the phone call itself starts the clock. Call the helpline first, even before the form is filled in, to lock in that date. Then take your time completing the form properly using the bad day approach and post it back within the 6-week window to secure every payment you're entitled to from the day you first called. So here is the complete picture of what's changed and what to do. Rates rose in April to £76.70 and £114.60 a week, tax-free, with no impact on your state pension or savings. You don't need a diagnosis or a carer to qualify, just genuine difficulty with personal care or supervision lasting 6 months or more. DWP data sharing now flags some existing care recipients automatically, but self-funders and independent pensioners are unlikely to be contacted and need to apply directly. Describe a bad day, not an average one, since vague or minimized answers are the leading cause of rejected claims that should have succeeded. And call the helpline before filling in the form, because that phone call is what starts your backdating clock. None of this costs anything to check, and the application itself is free at every stage. Share this with someone who's been managing alone and never thought to ask. It could be worth thousands of pounds a year they didn't know they were owed. I will see you in the next one.